The Power of Silence. Introduction. Embracing the quiet. In our busy, noisy world, many of us feel uncomfortable with silence. We rush to fill quiet moments with music, podcasts, or notifications, fearing awkwardness. Think of the last time you sat alone, maybe on a park bench or in a quiet corner, and found yourself reaching for your phone immediately. We've been conditioned to equate silence with emptiness or boredom. Yet silence can actually be like a blank page for our minds, full of possibility. Acoustic ecologist Gordon Hempton reminds us, silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything. Think about this. How often do you simply sit without distractions? Modern life rarely offers an unscheduled break. Even the simple act of eating together is often accompanied by phones or TV. But when you intentionally find a few quiet minutes, you might notice things you'd never considered before. When you step out of a hectic situation, the effect can be surprising. Imagine leaving a crowded coffee shop or a noisy kitchen for a moment of stillness. At first, the silence might feel strange. But then you notice little details. The gentle rustle of leaves, the distant hum of traffic, even the sound of your own breath. Your thoughts slow and unfold. Suddenly, a problem that troubled you seems clearer, or a creative insight gently surfaces. This is the power of pause. By slowing down, you make space for clarity and creativity. Even great minds have prized these quiet moments. Poet Rumi said, "Silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation." This suggests that in silence we connect to truths that words alone can't capture. Many inventors, artists, and leaders set aside busy schedules to think in silence. Thomas Edison, for example, took long solitary walks to let ideas form in his mind. Nobel laureate Maria Goeppert-Mayer even insisted on a silent walk after lunch every day. By the end of this book, you'll see why silence helped thinkers like Rumi, Edison, and Mayer, and how it can help you too. Science also points to the power of silence. Studies show that just a few minutes of quiet can lower stress hormones and blood pressure. In fact, silence has even been linked to improved immunity and better hormone balance. At a deeper level, extended silence can begin to rewire your brain. One experiment found that after just 3 days of intentional silence, participants started growing new brain cells in the memory center and their brainwaves shifted to calm, focused patterns. They reported feeling steadier and more focused. Whether you're a student cramming for an exam, a professional facing a tough choice, or simply juggling daily life's demands, this journey is for you. We all deal with overthinking, social pressure, and self-doubt. But in quiet reflection, we can find our inner voice and confidence. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore motivational stories and science-backed insights. We'll share inspiring quotes and simple exercises to make silence a habit. By the end, you'll be ready to harness silence as a source of strength and clarity. Let's begin by learning to embrace the quiet. Chapter 1. Facing the noise within. Every day, we carry a whirlwind of noise inside our heads. Deadlines, to-do lists, worries about what others expect, all swirl together. This inner chatter makes silence feel uncomfortable. We instinctively reach for music or our phones, even when we have a moment alone, just to quiet that storm of thoughts. But imagine what happens when you actually give yourself a real pause. Silence itself can be challenging at first. When you sit quietly, all your worries and plans come forward at once. It's natural to feel uneasy the first few times. But with each silent moment, you prove to yourself that it's okay to slow down and listen. Consider Ava, a high school student preparing for final exams. All day, the school hallways buzz with questions and answers about what might be on the test. Ava feels anxious and scattered. One evening, frustrated by the noise around her, she steps outside into the quiet night. The only sounds are her own breathing and the distant rustle of leaves. At first, her mind races, but after a few deep breaths her thoughts begin to slow. In the stillness, a problem that had frustrated her suddenly seems clear, as if a fog has lifted from her mind. Ava smiles to herself, feeling a bit more confident. This simple act of stepping away into silence gave her both an answer and a sense of calm. Another example. Carlos, a busy father, often multitasks until he hits a wall of fatigue. One Friday evening after dinner, tired and anxious, he steps outside to his backyard. In the cool night air, He sits and simply breathes. After a few minutes, he realizes he had been holding his breath in tension. As he exhales fully, a wave of relief washes over him. In that moment of silence, Carlos thinks, I can handle whatever comes. His anxiety eases, and he returns inside feeling calmer. These stories show that silence can ground you. In fact, science backs this up. Just 2 minutes of quiet can significantly lower your heart rate and stress hormones, even more than listening to calming music. It's like pressing the reset button for your mind. Another study found that people working on a task in complete silence experienced the lowest mental load and stress of any group. Overthinking is the default for many of us. We replay conversations, worry about what could go wrong, and second-guess ourselves. Silence interrupts that loop. As one psychologist explains, learning to become quiet helps us refrain from expending unnecessary energy on the endless hamster wheel of thoughts. In a brief moment of quiet, your racing mind can begin to slow down and find perspective. Even if silence feels strange at first, each time you pause, you train your brain to find calm. Exercise. Try this the next time you feel overwhelmed. Find a quiet spot and sit comfortably. Then, 1. Set a timer for 2 minutes. 2. Close your eyes and breathe slowly. 3. Focus on each breath. If thoughts wander, gently bring your attention back to your breathing. For when the timer rings, open your eyes and notice how you feel. Calmer, more focused, or clearer. Even this short silence can give your busy mind a gentle reset. Chapter 2. Listening to your inner voice. Inside each of us is a quiet voice, our intuition, our inner wisdom, that often gets drowned out. We collect so many opinions, advice from friends, expectations from family, trends on social media. It's easy to become a mixture of what everyone else thinks. But what do you really want? Silence creates the space to answer that question. Think of Raj, a young professional wrestling with a career choice. His parents encourage a stable job, his friends rave about a creative startup, and online advice pulls him every which way. Raj feels torn. On a Sunday morning, he sits alone on his balcony before anyone else is up. No emails ping, no ads play. In the still air, he closes his eyes and asks himself, what makes me happy? The answer that comes is a memory of coding for fun, something he loved in college but hasn't done in years. In that quiet moment, he hears his own truth. It makes him feel alive. Having listened, Raj smiles gently as a rush of clarity fills him. Afterward, Raj feels surprisingly calm. By listening inward, he found an answer already inside himself. He realizes that, with practice, his inner voice will guide his decisions more than outside noise. For example, Jasmine once struggled to choose a college major. Her friends all picked engineering or business, and she felt pressured to follow their paths. One weekend afternoon, Jasmine sits alone in a quiet cafe with a notebook, free of distractions. She closes her eyes and asks herself, what do I really enjoy? In the silence, she feels a spark of excitement remembering her passion for art and writing. This quiet moment gave Jasmine the clarity to pursue her true interests. Exercise. The next time you have a big question, give it silent time. Sit comfortably with a journal or paper. Close your eyes and breathe for a moment. Ask yourself a question, for example, what do I really want? Without seeking advice from others. Write whatever comes to mind, without judging or editing it. Read what you wrote. Your own words may reveal the answer. Over time, this quiet listening helps you trust yourself. You learn to say, this feels right for me, even if others disagree. Silent reflection can become your ally in making any decision. Chapter 3. Silence and Creativity. Have you ever noticed that your best ideas often come when you're not forcing them? Maybe you solved a problem in the shower, or a new approach popped into your head while daydreaming. Quietness can be the soil in which creativity grows. When you stop pushing so hard and create space, new connections can emerge naturally. Consider Elena, a graphic designer racing to finish a project. The office around her hums with chatter, ringing phones, and constant notifications. She feels creatively blocked. One weekend she decides to go for a walk, with no headphones, no podcast, nothing but nature's sounds. As she strolls through a quiet park, the rustle of leaves and distant birdsong become a gentle backdrop. Suddenly, a pattern of sunlight through the trees sparks a color scheme idea for her design. In that calm walk, Elena's best idea came effortlessly. She returns to her studio with renewed energy, ready to bring that vision to life. This is not magic. You don't need a special retreat to tap into creativity. Even a short silent walk or a few quiet minutes in a cozy chair can spark ideas. Often, when we stop chasing a solution and just let our mind wander, new concepts find us naturally. Many creative people throughout history understood this. Albert Einstein often worked alone in silence, and famously said, "I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in silence, and the truth comes to me." Wayne Dyer echoed this wisdom. All creativity requires some stillness. Exercise. Try a mini silence retreat for creativity. Schedule 20 to 30 minutes of quiet this week, away from screens and distractions. Choose a peaceful spot, your backyard, a quiet room, or a park bench. Begin by closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths, letting go of stress. Then allow your mind to wander naturally. If thoughts drift to a problem or project, let them flow without judgment. Keep a notebook handy. If any ideas or images come, jot them down quickly. Afterward, review your notes. Often the best ideas appear when you stop chasing them. As you practice these quiet moments, notice how creativity blossoms. Inspiration often surfaces gently when your mind is at ease. Silence, it turns out, is the secret ingredient for many creative breakthroughs. Chapter 4. The confidence of quiet. Silence can be powerful fuel for confidence. When you pause and really listen to yourself, you build trust in your own judgment. Instead of reacting on impulse or peer pressure, you learn to respond with calm conviction. Imagine Priya, who often feels nervous speaking up at meetings. She's worried about making mistakes and what others will think. On a big presentation day, her heart races. This time, she remembers to take a moment of silence before starting. In the stairwell, Priya closes her eyes for 10 seconds, breathes deeply, and reminds herself of what she knows. When she returns to the room, she speaks with a steady, clear voice. That brief silence helped her overcome panic and share her ideas confidently. This illustrates a key truth. Lao Tzu reminds us, silence is a source of great strength. In quiet moments, you gather power and clarity. Leonardo da Vinci also observed, nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. When you speak from silence, with intention and confidence, people listen more closely. It's wise to know when to pause. Even the Bible says there is a time to speak and a time to keep silent. Pausing before you answer shows you are thoughtful and intentional. In many cultures, silence is considered a virtue. People who stay calm under pressure are often the most respected. By practicing silence, you prove to yourself that you can handle tough situations. You may even find yourself using silence as a tactic. For example, negotiators often pause after making a point, prompting others to fill the silence and reveal more. A helpful technique is the power pause. Before any challenge, a tough question or confrontation, take 1 minute of silence. Breathe deeply and steady your thoughts. This simple pause can prevent panic and sharpen your focus. It also signals to others, and to yourself, that you are composed. Exercise. Practice silent affirmations. In a quiet moment, look at yourself in a mirror or close your eyes. Think of one positive statement about yourself, for example, "I am capable," or "My ideas matter." Silently repeat it to yourself several times, truly feeling the words. Notice how saying it from stillness changes how it feels. Do this once a day. Over time, these calm, confident words will sink in and become a natural part of how you speak. By intentionally choosing silence, you'll find a deeper confidence emerging. The strength you gain in those quiet moments will carry into your voice, your decisions, and your actions. You become the kind of person who truly listens, and when you do speak, others hear you. Chapter 5. Practicing the pause. All this talk is helpful, but how do you actually make silence a habit? The key is to start small and be consistent. Think of silence as a muscle you can strengthen with practice. Even brief pauses can build your inner quiet over time. For example, try scheduling a few minutes of silence each day. Experts recommend scheduling blocks of silence during your workday. Begin with just 5 to 10 minutes after you wake up or before bed. Sit at your kitchen table in the morning, or lie in bed for a minute in the evening with the lights off, simply breathing. Notice how starting or ending your day with calm changes your focus and mood. Here are some ideas to make silence a routine. 1 morning silence ritual. When you wake up, before reaching for your phone or rushing off, sit quietly for a few minutes. Breathe deeply and set an intention for the day. Let this mindful start anchor you. 2 silent commute or break. If you drive to work, turn off the radio. If you take a bus or train, use the time to look out the window or meditate quietly. These small pockets of silence can turn travel time into restorative breaks. 3 digital detox timer. Choose one time each day, perhaps after dinner, to put your devices away for 10 to 15 minutes. No TV, no scrolling. You might take a short walk, do some light stretching, or simply sit still. These mini detoxes reduce the noise in your mind. 4 mindful listening. Once a day, pick an ordinary sound, rain on the roof, wind in the trees, or even your own heartbeat. Focus all your attention on listening to it for 1 minute. You may find details you never noticed before. This practice trains you to find stillness in any environment. 5 gratitude pause. At the end of the day, close your eyes and think of 3 things you appreciate. They can be big or small: a delicious meal, a kind word from a friend, a quiet moment in the morning. Sit with each one for a moment in silence. Ending the day this way can carry peace into your night. 6 silent meal. Before you eat, take a moment to appreciate your food and take a deep breath. Try eating at least 1 meal a day without any media or distractions, focusing fully on the flavors. This teaches your mind that silence is normal and satisfying. 7 mindful movement. When you exercise or take a walk, try doing it without music or podcasts. Concentrate on your breathing and the sensations in your body as you move. This turns ordinary movement into a meditative practice. 8 1-minute breathing. Set an alarm on your phone or watch a few times a day. Whenever it goes off, pause for just 1 minute to breathe quietly. It's a small practice, but over time those pauses build a powerful habit of calm. Each of these habits helps strengthen your silence muscle. At first, sitting quietly might feel uncomfortable or awkward. You might notice your mind wandering or feeling restless. That's normal. Over time, however, you'll start to crave these calm moments. You'll notice tension melting away and new energy coming in. As James Allen wrote, "The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater is his success, his influence, his power for good." Calmness of mind is truly a jewel of wisdom. Conclusion. The journey within. Silence is a journey inward. As you practice these quiet moments, you'll find it easier to slow down and trust yourself. The mind that once felt overwhelmed will begin to speak with clarity. You'll face decisions and challenges with a steady heart, because you've learned to listen to your own guidance. Silence is a personal journey. Each time you pause, you remind yourself that it's okay to take space and reflect. You've learned that silence isn't just empty time, it's a place of presence. In it, you hear your true thoughts and discover hidden strengths. You now have the tools to turn silence into an ally. When life gets noisy or stressful, remember this quiet space you can retreat to. Carry this truth with you. Silence gives answers. In those quiet moments, the noise of the world fades and inner wisdom shines. You have stories, exercises, and inspiration to guide you. Embrace the silence within, and let it guide you, one reflective step at a time.